Hey, what's up, guys? Back with another stream. Good evening. Happy Thursday. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Got a little bit of a treat tonight. My first business jet experience in flight simulation. I mean, really, trying to learn how to fly it. I mean, I've flown them before, just hacking around, but new version of the Challenger 300 that came out that's VR compatible that we're going to take a look at tonight. A lot of people have been asking questions about it. And frankly, I'm interested in it too, so looking forward to checking that out. Robo, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. So let's get to it here. All right, so so those of you who don't know, the Challenger 300, which has been around for a little bit, for quite some time actually. I think it started with X-Plane 10, and then there was an X-Plane 11 version. Now there's an X-Plane 11 virtual reality version that functions pretty well with VR. We're going to take a look at that today. Just a first look, not a full review. I plan on doing a review of it, a VR review of it, for my YouTube channel. But I've been messing around with this plane for the better part of today, and gotta say, I really do like it. It's a lot of fun to fly. It's obviously those who've flown the business jet class before know that it's very different than the GA stuff that I'm used to flying. And thankfully, I've been able to land it safely every time I've flown it so far. I hope I didn't put the whammy on that, but because it is pretty easy to land as long as you stay within certain parameters. But gotta say, it's beautifully designed. We're going to take a look inside and outside in VR, and I'm going to show you how the touch controllers function with it. I'm using Oculus Rift CV1 with the touch controllers and X-Plane 11 VR. Now, I will tell you also that in the couple of hours that I've flown this in VR, I have yet to have any judder. Now, streaming tonight, remember, I've got a bunch of stuff open here. I've got the Oculus mirror window. I've got the air server window to show you what's going on with ForeFlight. And also, I've got the chat window right there. That's in the Oculus Home. I know, I just jinxed myself. So I'm hoping that we don't have any judder. If we start to experience judder, then I'm going to get rid of the ForeFlight and air server stuff, and hopefully that'll solve things. But let's see how it goes. So before we do anything, let's just take a look at the plane. So let me get into VR here, and thankfully I can see chat now. All right, so I got the plane running because I have not had a chance to really look at the manual and figure out cold and dark start. That's the next step for me. But let's get a little closer here. Beautifully modeled. Really is beautifully modeled. Love the way it looks. Get a little closer here to the wheels. You see those. The leading edge just looks awesome and nice and shiny, and I love the way this plane is modeled. You can look inside there and see inside the cabin. We're going to check out the cabin too. Back here where the I don't know who makes these engines, but there they are, two powerful jet engines. Looks really nice, man. I have a feeling I'm going to do a livery for this plane. See, there's our elevators. There's our rudder. There's our ailerons. Right there. Pretty nice. You see, I'm already getting a little bit of judder there. There's that front landing gear right there. And if we get over here, we can take a look at the... Actually, look at this. We're inside the... That's pretty cool. I'm looking up inside the cabin. We're going to take a look at the cabin in a second. So, anyway, so that's the outside of the plane. Seats 8 comfortably, and let's get inside. That's the cabin, or the cockpit, I should say. Very functional. Has the podium type yoke, if you will. It's a fairly old plane, not really sure. But, very functional, very easy to use. It's got the Laminar Research FMC, which is touch compatible, but I tend to I've been using it with the 2D, and basically I'm just loading plans into it. I haven't really learned how to use the FMC yet. But so let's take a look. Let's go back in the cabin. Let's see here. Actually, let me do this. And there's the cabin. Got your service area here, and you've got 8 seats. 8 comfortable seats. Right there, you can see out the window. And now these shades do work, but they don't work in VR. But I think they work with a mouse, but they don't. Unfortunately, they don't work with VR. I can actually go back here, and I could peer myself into the bathroom. There it is. There's the bathroom. And if I go back here, this is probably storage back here. The storage area. There you go. You got your nice sink over there, a little mirror. Well, look at that. The mirror's see-through. You could see outside the plane. Isn't that weird? I guess maybe it's a window. I don't know. Might be a window behind it. Anyway, so that's the... But I can't figure out how to get this door to open. I don't think this door opens with the touch controller. But in any event, that's the cabin. See it right there. Beautiful. Very spacious. I mean, comfortably sits 8 people. Definitely an executive type jet for sure. Gorgeous. Well appointed. Yeah, that would be funny, Robo. That sure would be funny. All right, so now we're back in the cockpit here. And again, so far not... I mean, we're getting a little bit of delay, but I could tell you that even that little bit of delay that you're seeing there, I was not getting that at all. So, all right. So this is... I'd like to set this up here so I could have a good look at it. Now, let's just take a look at touch controllers. Now, first thing I'm going to do is, what I do is here, I could do this. I could go to route menu, get my list, load my my flight plan. That's the one I'm going to be using. Okay. Now, once I do like a page, where's my pages? Next. All these buttons do work, so I can go back and forth in there. So all these buttons do work in the FMC. It would be kind of tedious, I think, using the touch controller to program that. But you can bring it up on the 2D screen to program it, which is what I've been doing. All right. The yoke is controllable as well, so you can grab that, control the yoke. Although I have a uh-oh, what happened there? Uh-oh. Okay, cool. I have a CH Products yoke, so I use that instead. But if you wanted to control this with a yoke, you would be able to. Okay? All of these buttons are controllable and clickable. Now, you don't think they are because when you hit like VS or heading, okay, you don't feel anything, but they do work. Okay, so like if I hit VS, you can look there on the PFD and you can see the VS comes up. Okay, all right, so that does work. What I want to do here is I want to go to nav source and I want to select FMS. Okay, so that way my GPS route is in. Now everything is pretty readable. That green coloring text makes it easy to read, except the magenta text for the GPS route right there, where you can see it. I'm going to get up closer. It says KAGS. That's kind of hard to read from a distance. So you have to you tend to have to lean in to see that, and it's a little bit fuzzy. So that's a little bit hard to read. But other than that, it's pretty good. Yeah, I guess it's just catching up, Robo. So, in any event, that's, in a nutshell, like I said, everything functions. Even these light functions, okay? Everything functions, which is beautiful, okay? If you want to put the throttles, you want to change the PFDs or MFD, you can do that. Every switch functions, which is awesome. Makes it very easy to fly in VR. I still kind of use plane command because it kind of helps with things in VR, but I'm very impressed with this plane. And like I said, when you're flying it without all the streaming software running, it's completely jitter-free, which is awesome. Now, I'm running it on my visuals are at high, textures at medium, and world objects at low. And I actually brought textures up to high, and it still ran beautifully. So it's well done to the guys who developed this, who basically did the update for VR. It's awesome. All right. So with that said, what I would like to do is just let's show you we're going to do a quick route today. Let me pull we're going to be going from Augusta, which is near Augusta National, where they play the Masters. And we're going to be going southwest to Southwest Georgia Regional in Albany, Georgia. 158 miles. Got 800 gallons. That should be plenty. It would probably take us about a little over 200 gallons to get there, somewhere around there. So that should be fine. 8 passengers, which is the max. And we're flying for VR Aviation, which is our group. So here's the route, simple route. We're just going from Augusta. And we'll just pick up this. I just have this GPS waypoint just so I know when I'm 13 miles out and can start to get ready to land and stuff. You do, obviously with a business jet, you need to give yourself a little bit of time. Slow the plane down, get down to altitude and stuff. So it's a little bit different than those GA planes. I mean, I've had situations when I'm flying the 208, Caravan 208, and I'm at 10,000 feet, and I can, all of a sudden, oh, geez, I got to get down to 3,000. I could just whale it in there and do it, so it's a little different than a business jet, right? You got to slow things down slowly and stuff, and I'm getting used to that. It's a lot of fun. So that's going to be our route tonight. You can see it up there on the ForeFlight. Hopefully I can keep that on there. If I start to get the jitters, I'm going to get rid of it, but we shall see. All right, so before we start, just wanted to talk a little. Here's where you can find on X-Plane.org. Bombardier Challenger 300 V2 Captain's Edition. Okay, VR compatible, 3D modeling, etc., etc. Challenger by DDEN. I think well worth 35 bucks spent on it. And what I love here is tested and approved by real Challenger pilots. That's pretty cool. So a lot of fun to fly and really do enjoy it. Now, don't forget about on Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you want to learn more about VR, virtual reality aviation, check out the VR Aviators group. Just search VR Aviators on Facebook and get to that. 300 plus happy members willing to help you get involved with VR aviation. So make sure you check that out. All right, so that's going to be our trip. Let me get. I'm loading up FSEconomy here. Okay, that's loaded. Got my assignment, and you can see I'm en route, which is perfect. Always make sure to minimize that X-plane window. Let me close this out. And we're good to go. So, let's take off. Now, I started the plane running. I mean, I started the the plane already running because I just haven't had a chance to go through the procedures and learn how to do the cold and dark starts. But that's the next step for sure. All right, so we've got, let's get our autopilot set up. So we're gonna fly, we're gonna go to 5,000 feet. Let's get our, where's nav? So we want to make sure it says FMS1 up there. We're gonna go vertical speed, and we're gonna go up. We're gonna go at we'll go 1,200 feet per minute. It's nice as I'm just rolling this. We're gonna go to 5,000 feet. Just make sure I got that set. Yep, it says 5,000. And once we start to roll, our GPS should kick right in, and we'll be good to go. So let's get on the road. So we're gonna go flaps 2 notches. That's what I found seems to work. And again, I'm a novice with this plane, but I plan to really work on learning how to fly it properly. One thing I did notice is that it does not have an auto throttle, so that's kind of a bummer, because you're always constantly manually adjusting the throttle to make sure you're not overspeed, flying too fast. But so be it. So anyway, let's go. Get those engines cooking. Release those brakes. All right, we're not juddering. That's good. Oh, spoke too soon. And rotate. Now those little stutters that you see there, when I'm not streaming, I don't get any of that. It's completely perfect. Gear up. Flaps up. Okay. Autopilot on. Autopilot on. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
All right, let's see how he does here. All right, beautiful. See, you got to watch that speed. Got to watch that speed. Okay. Once it gets down to 310 or just under 320, we should be fine. There you go. Beautiful. Nice and quiet, man. I tell you, it's a dream to fly. It's so much fun to fly. And you get there fast. You get there real fast. So you've got four displays, right? You got your PFD, MFD, then you've got your checklist and electrical system. And I believe you can change that around. Then you have another PFD on the co-pilot side. Your radio information is on the below there, on the bottom of your MFD, as well as your transponder, comms and nav radio and stuff like that. Also, you've got your engine percentages, your oil temp, oil pressure, N2. You've got your fuel in pounds, and your electrical information, and airspeed, and ground speed. Right now we're doing 327 ground speed. So everything's laid right out for you. And all the systems for the plane are right there below. There's nothing up top here. And so they put everything in the center console. Really cool. And it's so vividly modeled. It just looks really, 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 really nice. Really nice. All right, we just leveled off at 5,000. Again, we got to watch the speed here and bring that back to about, usually about 53% is just about the perfect cruising speed. Let's take a look outside. I got to open up the X-plane window. See, as soon as I open up that X-plane window, I start to get the judders. But let's take a look at that view right there. Nice. I don't know, man. I could imagine a VR aviation livery on this plane, for sure. That looks nice, man. So sweet. Let me get that window closed. So, as a novice jet pilot guy, a little bit of work and some help from one of our Discord members, Megaphone, and I was able to get things going. Like I said, I've done probably about 5 or 6 flights with it so far, and every time learn is a little something new. But yeah, it can certainly get from A to B with it, which is great. Like I said, the only thing I don't like about it is that magenta is very difficult to read, so I have to like zoom in to read that. See, 119, 21. If that text was a little bit bigger, it would be perfect. All right, so we got a little bit of time, 21 minutes to be exact. So let's go over an update for the group. Let's do that. All right, so we're doing really, really well, and it's only the first week of February, and we got almost 1.2 million in cash. Saving that up for an FBO expansion in the East, hopefully soon. Take a look at our monthly statement. We've already have 1.7, almost 1.8 million in assignment income, netting 618,000 so far. And we got rental income from aircraft operations. We've got FBO income because we've got those FBOs up and running, 28,000 in FBO. And you can see here, I mentioned in the Discord that we paid $450,000 to pay a loan off on KBTM, so it's now ours. All right, so that was a big bite to pay that off. And we also built out an FBO at a small airport that's a hub of 9U0, 9 Uniform 0, 9er Uniform 0, which is now ours. Megaphone, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Megaphone is my Challenger tutor. Appreciate that. Just make sure I'm not over speeding here. 302, beautiful. Yeah, I was mentioning before, Megaphone, the one thing that's kind of lacking on the Challenger is it doesn't have an auto throttle, so you got to kind of manually watch the speed. At least that's what I've found. So, but the interesting thing about this financial statement is this minus 136. 136 or 137K. What that basically means is if we earn another 137,000, we're zero for the month, including paying off BTM, which is awesome, right? So that's really, really, really good. Everyone's doing a great job of flying. If we take a look at the log here, you got Robo with some King Air C90 work. Okay, we've got Mike doing some work in the C90. I flew the Challenger a little bit. We got Dirts flying the Lockheed 130. Wow, C-130. Awesome. Oh. Did someone just subscribe to the channel? Let me look here. Hold on. I'm sorry. I can't see that because I've got Give me a second here. Sorry about that. Anyway, so the real one doesn't have one yet, but you can use the default X-Plane one since it works off the default autopilot. Okay, gotcha. All right, well, I'll have to look into that. I'll have to look into that because that would be nice to have. Anyway, so continuing the update. So errors running, crashes running, pvander, let's see, Milo Sanks, Sapper, IC0Z, M9 doing some work. So a lot of guys flying their butts off. This N73DX, one of the contenders for last month's contest. Remember, the contest this month is 3 winners, 10% to the top person, 6 to the next person, and hold on, let me get this right. Make sure I get this right. What is it? 10, 6, and 4. 10, 6, and 4. 10%, 6%, and 4%. And it's paid off the whatever the if we go back to the bank statement, the winner gets that percentage off of this net number right here. Okay, just make sure there's no confusion. The challenge is the gross income. So whoever has the highest gross income. So that's before expenses. That's basically the challenge. So it's going really well. But anyway, you guys are doing great, and the group is growing fantastically. Like I said, we paid off KBTM, and we're starting to realize the benefits of that. We bought N47 at Pottstown, which is a small FBO that we took over an auction. $50K it cost us to get that, which is really cheap. And actually, Robo's building out some scenery for that, which is cool. And so that's going to be hopefully the first spoke in our developing system within the Northeast. As I mentioned, we've got Niner Uniform 0. We built that out. So that's part of the KBTM network. And it's about 130, I think it's 138 nautical miles away. So we're pretty much done with that Montana network for now, as far as building it out, and some really cool places to fly out there. Just running back and forth those supplies. Got to see some really interesting things and flying through the mountains and stuff. So make sure you check that out. We're gonna have some planes out there. We got some nice planes to fly. Let's just take a look at the aircraft we've got. So we got the Baron out there, which is nice to fly. We got a couple of Skyhawks. We've got a couple of 208s. If you want to rent this one, the C-GADR, because that doesn't cost you anything. Okay, we're actually going to be getting rid of this guy because this is a lease that we pay for, and since Air Dogs was so kind to donate this lease to the group at no cost, that's the plane we'll have out there for you guys to fly. So anyway, we got 2 Cirruses, one at N71, and we've got one out in Hawaii that which if you want to fly that beautiful scenery out in Hawaii. So we'll probably start to build. Oh yeah, we got the King Air too. Don't forget we got this King Air 200. It's up in Smithers, British Columbia. I know there's a couple of guys that fly the King Air, so maybe someone want to grab that and fly it, closer to home or whatever. It's kind of sitting there without any. I don't think anybody's really flown it a lot. Yeah, JML, who actually donated it, the lease at least. So make sure you check that plane out too. So we got some cool planes, and we'll probably be adding more. Although I think we're going to be focusing more on building out FBOs to build out that kind of revenue and to make things more fun to fly in areas. So anyway, that's the update. Great job. As I mentioned the last stream, we were in the top 10 in January of groups for number of flights and active pilots, and that's even missing a week. We started January 6th, I believe, so we missed like 5 days, and we still had actually we didn't really get going until like the 10th of January. So we're gonna have a great February, and everyone's doing a great job. So that's the update for VR Aviation. Oh, the other thing. Sorry, there is one more update. Let me just pull it up here. If I go to the org, where's the org? me go to downloads, index. Just watching my, go to skins. Probably pretty close up to the top here. There it is. Carenado PC12 VR Aviation Livery. Make sure you check that out. I put this up here a couple days ago. It already has almost 100 downloads. But this is the official VR Aviation PC12 livery. You guys are welcome to check it out. You see, I changed the tail logo to VRA, VR Aviation. Makes sense. I might go back and change the 208. Probably will, to have the VRA logo on it. So yeah, so that's the second in our fleet, and I plan on doing more planes in that color. You could actually watch the stream if you want to see how I painted it. If you want to spend 3.5 hours watching me paint the livery, be my guest. And you can actually watch it on Twitch too if you want to see the chat. So make sure you check that out. All right, so that's the update for VR, the VR Aviation Group, and we've got over 40 members now, which is awesome. Pretty beautiful. All right, so yeah, Megaphone. I would, first of all, I appreciate all your support and help. Really helpful. And I will definitely check that out. See if because it would be nice to have auto throttle. It would be nice to have photo. All right, let me get back in the plane here. The other thing I wanted to mention, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm sure a link will come up in the chat here pretty soon. It's Bambino Games. I've got a giveaway going on for 10,000 subscribers. I hit 10,000 subscribers last week, and we're giving away a Aerosphere Seminole, which is a VR compatible. Well, sorry, it has a G1000 in it, which is the Laminar G1000, and it works pretty well with VR. Some things have to be modified on it, but you can function as long as you have plane command. And hold on a second here, I can't read that. So I bought. Please. Oh, you actually did. Which yoke do you have, Blazin? Do you have the same one, the CH products or the SciTech? I can't remember. It's nice and quiet, man. You should go in the back and. Oh, you have the same one as me. Okay. Yeah. So what was it? What was it like? Was squeaking or was it like jammed up? We should go sit. Let's go sit in the back. How cool is this? This is like, it's like you're in a freaking plane, man. Looking out the window. How cool is that? I mean, for me, sitting in VR, everything three-dimensional, I feel like I'm sitting in the back of a luxury business jet. And I've actually flown on a jet like this before in my life. I'm flying in Georgia. I'm flying from Augusta to Southwest Georgia Regional. If you look at the top left, you can see my flight plan. It's I've got 4 flight up there. Actually, let me do this. Get myself right in the seat. Whenever you pulled up on it, it would always get kind of stuck. Okay. Oh, that's not good. So at least that worked. That's good that worked. I've seen people take them apart before. It seems like it's pretty easy. But I was starting to say, I've flown before in a, a while ago, I've flown in a Falcon. I used to, remember the old days of MCI? Let's see, do you give one-on-one tutorials? Hey, Rodef, how you doing? You know, I haven't done that yet, but I was actually thinking about doing some consulting, because a lot of people have asked about if I do VR consulting, like on Skype. So, yeah, just, you know, shoot me an email. It's, let's see, what, no, actually, you know what? You can just shoot me an IM on Twitch and I'll get back to you. We could talk about it, okay? But yeah, so back in the days of, I don't know, guys, if you guys remember MCI, they were a competitor of AT&T. They're the ones that basically forced divestiture in the telecommunications market. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just hit me an IM on Twitch and we can talk about it. And MCI was after, this is after they, like, you know, successfully won the suit, and they were like becoming huge. And my company that I worked for sold them networking infrastructure, and they were my account, and they had 3 Falcons at Westchester Airport. And we, I remember hopping into one of those Falcons and flying up to Ottawa. Worked for a company in Ottawa at the time, at a headquarters in Ottawa, and it was an amazing, amazing trip. It was the first time, I was young, very young, and it was the first time I ever flown on a private jet like that. Cocktail napkins had MCI logos. The glasses had MCI on them. They had MCI peanuts and everything. There was a flight attendant on it. It was like a 10-seater, maybe 12-seater Falcon, I think. I can't remember. So I flew on that, and I flew on a Citation. One of the CEOs of a company that I worked for had a Citation. I flew on that a few times. But there's nothing like flying on a private jet. It's awesome. It's awesome. You drive up to the FBO, you park your car, say hello, you walk up to the plane, you walk up into you walk up the stairs, sit in a beautiful, wide, comfortable, leg-stretching seat, and it's like a limousine in the sky. It's awesome. And that's when I go back there in VR, kind of think about that, you know. Pretty cool. All right, let's see. Where are we? We're getting close here. These are quick trips. These are quick trips. But, you know, thankfully, Megaphone, I'm not sure if you're still there, gave me a key tip is when you land this plane, you want to be at about 120 knots. And every time I land the plane, I try to keep myself around 120 knots, and that seems to work pretty well. Yeah, I've got to find those. I got to find those 20K cargo jobs. I don't want to compete with you, but I got to figure out how to find them. Because I remember when I created my SR20 to Hawaii, the guy charged me $22,000 to create it there. But yeah, that's what I was kind of wanted to do. I wanted to get into that aspect of FSEconomy, you know. But I got to buy a plane first. Well, I guess I could rent one, but that's my next thing. I'm going to buy a Challenger. It's be about call it $1 million. And so I'm almost there, about a third of the way there, just earning cash. I have a B1900D. I have a 208. No, I have a PC-12. And I have 2 SR20s. I have one in Hawaii and one in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Pottstown. It's on the way to Alaska. Right. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, blazing. The 1900D takes a little getting used to. But you get it after a while. You kind of like have to, when you land, you kind of like have to whoop it up a little bit. You got to flare, you got to pull back on the yoke a little bit, and then let the plane just settle down on the back 2 wheels. After a while, you get used to it. We're starting to get some judders now. All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to close down the ForeFlight thing because I think that's causing a problem. Because that air server, it uses a lot of CPU cycles. It uses like about 10 or 11. Now that's better. I think that's better. No. You cannot land that in idle. You got to land it under power. Full flaps. And you see on the B1900D, it's got those two white lines on the airspeed indicator. You want to keep the airspeed right within there when you're landing. If you keep it within there, you should be good. That seems to be better than I closed that down. Yeah, right. Exactly. I use a checklist if I do cold and dark start. But honestly, usually when I'm flying off stream, I have X-Plane started up just to get on the go because I'm flying FSEconomy or something like that. I just want to get on the go. But yeah, there's a checklist that I put together from watching a couple people that I use. The one thing you got to make sure you do is there's one particular thing, and I always forget what it's called. Hold on. Give me a second here. I'll pull up my thing. My startup procedures. I have a little. Where the hell is it? All right, here. All right, right here it says enable vacuum DG sync to magnetic north. So this is an X-Plane command. Okay, you want to bind that to a key. I have it bound to the N key. You need to do that when you're cold and dark because sometimes the compasses are out of sync, and your GPS doesn't work properly. That's one of the things that I found. That's a key to starting the 1900D. All right, we're getting ready to land here, so I'm gonna have to start to slow this plane down and get her down. Altitude 2000.
Altitude 2,000 feet.
So let's go vertical speed, and we're gonna go down. And let me pull back on the throttle a little bit. Exactly, that DG sync is a critical thing. No, it's okay. It's okay. Here's the thing, like you can't like I said, but this jet, you got to prepare. You got to fly. You got to kind of fly ahead of the plane all the time because you don't have the same time that you do in a GA plane, a smaller plane. Yeah, it doesn't want to. It does not slow down in the descent. You got to basically pull the throttle back. I mean, it like 36, 37%, and I'm now making my turn here just to get lined up, and I got 12 miles to bring it down here, but I need to open up this window so I can take a look at. It's kind of a small runway, but I know where it is, so I can close this now. All right, let me concentrate here. So I gotta get down a little faster. You can't put the flaps on until you're around under 210. Otherwise, you get the overspeed. You don't want to put structural damage on the plane. I can't read that right now, dude. I think I'm gonna hand fly it now. It's gonna be close. See, I was jabbering away. Let me get the gear down. I can't get my flaps. I'm coming in way too hot. I might have to abort this. We shall see. All right, go there. 2 notches of flap. That should slow her down pretty quick. I think we should be good. Kind of a skinny little airport here. Full flaps. Looks like it's snowing in Georgia. I know that's just the ortho, but. All right, 130, 128. All right, we managed to, it is a little squirrely. Get that trim up. There's the magic 120. Trim that nose up a little bit. Keep it 121, 120. Floated a little bit, but pretty smooth. For my 6th time, not too bad. What do you think, Megaphone?
Approaching runway 1634. Entered runway 1634.
That's awesome. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. We could take a look at that one again. Let's stop here. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
All right, let me get my... All right, let's check out FSEconomy. We'll see how we did there. Yeah, I didn't think that was pretty bad. Let's take a look at that. Actually, let's just take a look quickly here at the... how we did here. So we made $2,800 and $1,600 for the group, so that's not bad. But let's let me do this. Let's go to back to here and let's do replay. So we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna go to replay. Run that. We'll change the view. I like to do this view.
Approaching runway 1634.
Not bad. Not bad. All right, cool. See what you guys say. Be careful when pulling the throttle back or the at high altitude. Throttle idle, you'll lose cabin pressure, so you have to either run the APU or keep the throttle just cracked a bit. Okay, so if you're at high altitudes, gotcha. Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty damn good. I don't know why we're getting the jarbles now, though. All right, let's see if we could do another run here. Bring Chrome up. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Where are we? We're at KB. We can go back where we came from. Where else could we go here? I don't think this plane is. Yeah, it's got no bonus on it. It's expensive though. $850 an hour. That's expensive. Where's MGM? Montgomery, Alabama. Yeah, let's go back here. Go back to Augusta. These guys want to go play some golf. All right, that's my flight. Should be plenty of fuel, but I'm just going to put 800 in it just in case. All right. Good to go there, and let's get our sky vector on. I wish this had a reverse on it. I said it had a reverse on it, but what I do is just basically do boom, go boom, and then I'll copy this one here. That's my reverse. Back to Augusta. I wonder if we'll see the golf course. And let's see. Let's do our right about there. So we got there, Shelly. That's 16 miles. That's probably better. All right. What I do is I save this FPL format, download Garmin. Okay. I'm going to show you guys. A lot of people ask how I do this. I have a video on it if you want to check it out. I'm going to Dell Desktop. Open up this. Let me close the Chrome thing. All right, so there's this little script called FPL to FMS. I open that up and go to my downloads and take KB. Oh no, that's not the right one. Duh. Open my downloads, go to Augusta, and say the FMS plan. And if I open that up, you could see KB Shelley to Augusta. I just drop that right in my FMS plan folder. That plan's ready to go. And once the plan's ready to go, give me a second here to just enter it into my flight. I wish I could get this working, but it just that air server just bogs everything down. I'm gonna probably at some point get a separate PC to stream with. All right, so we got that loaded, and then SimPilot, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. We're in the Challenger today. Challenger 300 version 2 for VR. Really nice. Beautiful plane. All right, get our FSEconomy loaded up here. That's loaded. Now let me show you how I do the FMS. Thanks to Megaphone giving me a quick lesson. So basically what I do here is bring it over here. Click on this, and you can see it brings up the 2D. Okay, now once I have this 2D, all I need to do is go to Index, Route Menu, CL Route List, and then FMS Plan, and boom, we're loaded. I could page through here just to make sure. Shelly and Augusta. So we're loaded. Okay. Now, into the cockpit, and what we want to do is make sure we got nav serve to FMS, which it is. We want to go nav. FMS shows up on the autopilot indication up there on the PFD, and we're going to set altitude to let's see, where's our altitude? We're going to go altitude, let's go 4,500. Vertical speed, we're going to go just hit the roller, so we go up. We want that to be about 1,200. Come on. 1,100 is good. And we should be all set to go. We say autopilot on, and we should be able to pick that up. So yeah, you should, man. I try to fly every day. But I'm very excited about this plane. This plane is awesome. All right, so everything's good to go. FSEconomy is loaded. We got our GPS coordinates in. We got the autopilot set up. We got plenty of gas. 4,700 pounds of gas, fuel. And all systems look good. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do a VR aviation group flight, I think. That'd be fun. On Pilot Edge. Do that on Pilot Edge. All right, let's go to... But I'll probably fly GA for the group flight, just more maneuverable. At least until I get comfortable with this. I mean, the 1900D, I've got over 100 hours flying that plane in VR. And I feel like I could fly that thing like a Cessna. You know, I'm not confident and comfortable with it, which is where I want to get with this plane.
Approaching runway 04. Entered runway 04. 6,500 feet remaining.
What I love about the twin engine jets is no P factor. Just basically have to barely steer it down the runway. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Blazin, the B1900D helped me get the confidence to fly this, because it is very different than it, requires. It's a little bit more of a, it's a methodical procedure land. Like when you're I was going to say this after I landed. It's funny because we're going to Augusta and we're around Augusta because I play golf, and if you play golf, you know that putting is like a Zen thing. And when you putt, even when any golf stroke, but particularly putting, you have to be like outside of yourself. You got to get yourself in a zone where you're completely confident and mellow and, in touch with yourself. That's what, if you can do that, I think you can be a good putter. And that's the same with landing an airplane. And at least, I've never landed one in real life, but in VR, right? In a flight sim. In particular, a plane like this, where it's not as easy. You have less room for error with this plane than you do with like an SR-20 or a Cessna 172 or even the 1900D. You have less room for error with this thing, right? So you kind of like, you have a tendency to want to tense up, but you can't do that. You got to let yourself relax and just be like Zen about it and have like small movements and very calm. It's interesting because, be the ball. Yeah, exactly. No, 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 no. If you watch John Fly stream, John Fly is like a totally chill guy, right? Everything is chill. Like I've never seen him get like upset or raise his voice. He's totally chill, and that's how you have to be when you're landing an aircraft. You gotta. And think about the guys that land on carriers. Those guys definitely have to be like that. They have to be in the zone when they're flying because there's so little room for error. It's actually how you need to be the entire time you're flying. Yeah. Well, I mean, yes. I mean, taking off is easy. Okay. Taking off is easy. Cruising is easy. Once you get everything set up, if you're using autopilot, it's easy. Landing is the tough part. Anyway, let's get on the road here. So, and that's coming from a complete amateur, non-real world pilot, just a flight sim pilot. Ooh, didn't like that. Okay. Oh, it doesn't like the flaps. Okay, got my flaps up. Didn't like that I had didn't have flaps up. Bleed open. I don't know what that means. Oh, trim. Thank you. So that should be about 3. Where do you have it? 6.4. Okay. All right, I'll put it at 6.1. Thank you, Megaphone. Beautiful. Lesson learned. Another thing learned. The plane will tell you if it doesn't like the way it's configured. And rotate. Airspeed's alive. Gear up. Clean up the flaps. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
Whoa. Oh, it's going the wrong way. All right, so I'm gonna have to figure out that auto throttle. If you ever get stuck with the thing yelling configuration, 90% of the time, the brake is set in the air. Okay. Oh, you mean someone you set the parking brake while flying? Interesting. Let's just try it. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
There you go. Release parking brake.
Parking brakes released.
Interesting. Yeah, that would have been a rough landing. All right, so Megaphone, what is this thing over here for? What is that thing? For steering on the ground, so you don't use because I'm using the rudder pedals. Why would you use that instead of, so that's what, in real life, that's what they use instead of rudder pedals? Let's get it down to cruising. Interesting. Yeah, well, I'm never going to use that. Okay, let's go sit in the back. See you guys. Take care. Fly safe. I'm going to go out back and have a cocktail. This is comfortable. Like, actually, I can actually move back further. How cool is that, huh? I know this isn't safe to do, but I just wanted to check out the cabin again, man. I mean, I could actually stand up in my office here and walk around this cabin, which is amazing. Yeah, but that doesn't work with a touch controller, though. You don't have that control with a touch controller. So that's one thing that they didn't do with a touch controller. But X-Plane's coming out with mouse support soon, so that should be very doable. Let's get back in the cockpit. Oh, let me try to find it then. I'm still going too fast here, though. Let me see if I can find it. The click spot's really whack. All right, let me see if I can find the click spot. None of this stuff works. We'll go green for a split second and vanish. So you've tried it with the touch controllers? Let me see if I can find it. Oh. Oh, play music. There you go. All right, I want to get copyright, so I'll turn that off now. That's cool. So you just basically click in the middle of the thing. Let me just see if I can find it. Oh, there you go. Hold on. Oh. Oh, I think I just friggin' turned off the autopilot. Hold on. Oh no. It's like I felt like the plane was going down. Because if I hit the anyway, so doesn't actually own a VR headset, so he said he'll be releasing constant updates as people make it. Okay, good. Yeah, I saw that he's active. That's awesome. It's like the guy who developed the SR20, the V-Flight Air guy. That's really great that they're active. I might send him a note with some feedback. But you know, like first, like it would be really nice to get like some sort of gesture or you know, feedback in the mouse when you click these buttons, because you don't know if you clicked them or not, or if they just like did something when you did it, you know. But all in all, I'm pretty satisfied. I mean, it's probably one of the better well, it's really the only third-party plane that I bought that has true VR support. There used to be sounds. Yeah, there might be. I think I might have the internal sounds kind of low, so that might be part of the problem. I got to find some of those 20K jobs, Megaphone. That's what I want. Those 20K jobs. Boy, Georgia is some flat territory. Oh, they're missing. Okay. I have my audio down really low. I think the headset off for a little bit here. Well, I appreciate you guys checking the stream out. Oh, well, I'm heading to CAG, so I might run that one next, but I think I'm going to do that one next, but I'm going to do it off stream because this is going to be my last flight of the stream. All right, I'll try that one out. It's right where I'm going, which is awesome. Cool. You know what I have to do is I've got to get that, what's that app that someone developed for defining the best FSEconomy flight planner or whatever it is? I downloaded it, I just haven't installed it yet. I should really install that. Look how pretty that plane looks. I don't know, man. I think I'm probably going to do a livery on this one next for VR Aviation. can't believe I have 100 downloads on that PC12 livery. That's awesome. Yeah, let me see. It's called. I do have it downloaded. Hold on. FSE Flight Planner. It's called FSE Flight Planner. I think I got it on the org, but let me just check. Let's bring up Chrome here. FSE Flight Planner. There it is. Dead Man what? Oh, Dead Man Walking. There it is right there. Oh. Yeah, I think I really have to start using this. It's right there. Just type in FSC Flight Planner in Google, and it's the first one, I believe. I think that's where I got it. No, it's not it. Hold on. Hold on. Go to this video. Maybe they'll have a link. Maybe that's where I found it. Is it in the... Oops. Forum? Yeah, I remember I had a hard time finding it too. I had to search around and to find it. It wasn't easy to find. Shit. Here it is. See that? Yeah, I gotta start using that. All right, so I'm gonna check out. Let's check out this job. So if we go to CAGs, this guy right here. All right, I can carry that much. I guess I should be able to. Yeah, more exactly. I want to make sure I have enough fuel. Oh, I hope I don't have to stop and refuel. Yeah, it'll tell me how to run out of gas. Let's see. Go to here. So it's 44, so 4,500. Max I can put in is 800 gallons. And how far am I going? 260, call 300. Oh, I'll have plenty. Alright, so I'll load it up with like 700 gallons of fuel and it's more efficient on one engine, yeah. All right, yeah, I should be good there. If I have I mean, I'm going to be fully loaded, but I'll put 800 gallons of fuel in it, and well, actually, I don't need 800. I put about 600 gallons of fuel, and that should be fine, right? I don't know if this thing calculates the fuel based upon this number here or not. If this is does anybody know if this fuel calculator is really accurate? This is what I use all the time, but I've seen other people use other methods. Is this thing really accurate? So, I mean, is it taking into fact the factors of a Challenger 300, and when I put in 4,500 kilograms, 300 miles, that I need a 174 gallons? Is that correct? I don't know. I just seems like there'd be a lot of software behind doing that for every single type of plane, you know? Gives you a rough idea. Okay. Well, I don't fly with weather, so I don't have to worry about headwind. But I'm going to check that out after this stream. Cargo's the way to go, man. Myrtle Beach. Doesn't know about APU, so if you're flying with bleeds off an APU, you're burning more gas. What am I... Okay, so this is something I gotta learn, right? So, what am I flying here? I have bleed open. Where's the APU? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Next to the red handle that says LG pull. APU run. So that basically means so if I should turn the APU off when I'm flying. Yeah, I got it. I see it right there. So APU set to run. Then turn on the engine bleeds. Where's the engine bleeds? I mean, that's something I can do in the air. Upper panel. So can I do that? I can do, hey, RC Flyer, how you doing? So I can do that in the air. So I turn off the APU and turn on the engine bleeds, or what's the, let's see, upper panel. Okay, engine bleeds. So I put left bleed and right. Oh, I see. So I see. Yep. See them set to off. So if I click them, and then go back to here and put APU to off. Oops. So APU. Okay, so APU is off, and I put those on, and now I'm burning less fuel. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Thank you. I'll have to remember that. So after you take off APU to off and put the turn the engine bleeds on for cabin pressurization. Cool. So why does that burn less fuel? So because you're not using the APU, you're using, was it using like outside air? APU is the third engine. It's like a generator. All right. So basically it's using the climate, the outside climate to cool the cabin rather than use the APU, which is basically like a generator that's using fuel to okay, so on the ground you want the APU on, but in the air you turn the APU off and you put the bleeds on. So once you land, you put the bleeds, turn the bleeds off, and you put the APU back on, right? I wonder if plane command, APU on.
APU is starting up.
There you go. You can do it with plane command. APU off.
APU is already off. APU start failed.
APU off.
APU is already off.
Hold on. Auto throttle on.
Auto throttle on.
Okay. It just basically synced up to 297. Let me just see what happens if I increase the speed. No. Auto throttle on.
Course set to 041.
No. Auto throttle on.
Auto throttle on.
All right, so I could turn the APU. Well, I don't think it works right, so I just want to remember that. Okay, same bug you have. What a cool plane, though. When did the Challenger first go into service? Probably like, what, in the 80s or 90s, I bet? Maybe earlier, I don't know. I mean, with the pedestal yoke, I would imagine it's been around for a while, right? Because most of the more modern business jets have a yoke built into the instrument panel, right? Which is less than a mechanical yoke. All right, I'm going to start to altitude 2000.
Altitude 2000 feet.
Let's go to vertical speed, and let's go down. Gotta watch our, yeah, see, auto throttle doesn't work. $19.99, produced in 2004. Yeah, okay. Bombardier makes a lot of transportation devices. They make snowmobiles, ATVs, I believe, airplanes. Do they make a prop plane? A GA prop plane is what I mean. I know I'm flying low, but Dash 8. Oh, the Dash 8 is theirs. You know, I've flown in a Dash 8. When I worked for this company that was headquartered in Minnesota, I used to take a Dash 8 out of Newark. Was it Newark? I think it was Newark to Minnesota. I never liked flying in a Dash 8. It was uncomfortable and loud. And you could smell the fuel. Altitude 2,200.
Altitude 2,200 feet.
Alrighty. Slowing the plane down nicely. Oh, who just followed? It'll come up in the chat here. I'm pretty sure it was. My memory is failing me. It was a Dash 8.
Destination 8 is 13.
No, it was Newark to Ottawa. JC Willem 2, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the Bambino VR stream. We're flying the Challenger 300 version 2, which just recently came out with VR support, virtual reality support for X-Plane 11 Native VR. Yeah, I had it wrong. It was Newark to Ottawa, the Dash 8. That's what it was. Yeah, Minnesota would have been way too long in a Dash 8. Now this is better, taking it nice and slow, slowing the plane down to 135 knots, 134 knots. And then we'll get our way right into Augusta. So glad I brought this plane. Got some great planes. This plane, the 1900D, the SR20. I love the PC-12, but they've got to get rid of that clicking. It's awful. Plane airlines not for passengers. Yeah. Yeah, the Dash 8 was more cargo too, right? Ooh, there's a nasty flutter. But yeah, I remember flying that thing. It was loud, and you could smell the gas sometimes, and it was cold because it was like in the winter time. All right, let me just take a peek at my runway here. There we go. All right, we're somewhat lined up. Wonder if we'll go over Augusta National. That's what I want to do sometime, is just get into a Cessna 172 and just fly around this area and find Augusta National and see what it looks like from ortho. I'm sure it's probably, well, it's probably not that close to the airport. But yeah, I definitely want to check that out. Yeah, right. So it's designed as a like a bush plane for northern Canada. All right, now I got to get my runway fixed again here. Oh, we're coming right on it. Beautiful. And we're at we're 1900 above, so let's get her slowed down here. Slowly coming down. please excuse me if I ignore chat here a little bit, because I want to make sure I keep these 8 people safe. Dash 8, I remember that. I do remember flying in that Dash 8. When I first joined that company, the guy said, "Oh, you got to fly the Dash 8 because it's inexpensive." I said, "Okay." And he said, "Make sure you bring a sweater or a jacket because it's cold." I said, "Okay." All right, so when we get on the ground, I got to turn the bleeds off and put the APU back on, right? Learning stuff, new stuff. All right, get that first notch of flaps. Get that gear down. That second notch of flaps. Three green. That's why I need a co-pilot in this plane. Handle all the post, the post takeoff checklists. Let's go full flaps. I love flying this plane, but it's very small movements. It's just like, it's even more intricate than the 1900D. Just nice, easy, small movements. You gotta watch the airspeed. Gotta watch the airspeed. Be nice if it had heads-up display. Although with VR, you could just like, look down, which is nice. We're a little high here. Get that airspeed down. Trim it up. That's pretty damn sporty right there, boys. Let's get off the active. That was pretty sporty. All right, you do that in the approach. Okay, makes sense. I'll remember that. Clean up the flaps. Gonna go over the cargo. Well, we're gonna go drop these guys off here. Let me do this first before I do anything, because I should have done it in the air. Let's get these off. And let's get the APU on. Why isn't it turn? Oh, there you go. Turn. There it is. Landing it better than the PC-12. It's different than the PC-12, but like I said, if you're just kind of zen about it, it's not bad. Gotcha. Got to click it to the right side. Nice looking plane, huh? All right, let's get these good people to their to the gate here. Well, that's the Challenger 300 version 2. I'm really glad I bought it. I actually was watching John Fly's, or no, Marcus's stream. Marcus, the dude who's the Pilot Edge controller. I think people were talking about it in there, yeah. That it basically came out. Someone said to me, "Oh, did you know the Challenger's in VR?" I'm like, "Whoa! All right, gotta check that out." So, I'm glad I did, man. All right, we're gonna go to the gate, even though we're a oh, I could have done that a little bit better. People can walk up the stairs with the jetway. Home again, home again. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
It is a beautiful plane. I love it. All right, let's check out how we did in FSEconomy here. Ending the flight. Chrome on. Global 6000 to which is like the Challenger, but twice the range. Oh wow, that should be pretty cool. Yeah, they want the Cirrus jet's not even on FSEconomy. All right, let's check out how we did here. So go to log and oh, I forgot to run this for the group. Sorry guys, we'll have to put some money into the group. Sorry about that. But in any event, that's my experience with the Challenger, man. It's awesome. I love this plane. Let's take a look outside here. Look at that. Isn't that great? Hear the birds tweeting? That's definitely part of this plane. When you're outside, you hear those birds tweeting like that. So, listen, guys, I want to thank you very much for joining the stream and checking out this beautiful plane with me. It was a lot of fun to fly, and I'm looking forward to getting a lot more flight time on it and learning more about it. Megaphone, thank you very much for the lessons. Very helpful. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that little notification bell so you'll get a notification when I put a new video up. And if you're watching this on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow button. If you choose to subscribe, that'd be great too. Thanks for supporting the stream. Thanks for supporting the YouTube channel. Gambino signing out, and safe flight, guys. Have a great evening. Thanks for watching.